Ladies and gentlemen, if you were to talk about the knowledge of Vedas that was transferred from one generation to another through an oral tradition, but do you know which is the single biggest innovation that has been the hallmark of human evolution? Any guesses to this one? Well, the invention of the printing press, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, with all the books that came in, we built upon and added to the knowledge and wisdom of our forefathers. Well, when we talk about anything and everything that you can learn about any subject and almost entirely for free, that is over the internet, I think the entire idea of collating, filtering the subject matter is such an interesting way for the students more than ever. In the next panel discussion, we're going to talk about the innovations in EdTech, collaborative solutions for the academic excellence. So yes, the dissemination of knowledge is easy, but the absorption of learning is the key challenge that educators definitely do need to address with the ever so distracted, the minds that we have. So all right, to moderate the proceedings here, may I please request Suchetna Ray, the editor, Outlook Business, to once again step forward, take the stage with your round of applause once again. Well, we're going to be culminating into one of those finest discussions. Welcome back, Suchetna. And with that, please allow me to very quickly rope in our panelist for the session. Can we have Dr. Amya Kumar Rath, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Viju Patnaik University of Technology, Rourkela. Well, a very, very warm welcome. Professor Rath has made some remarkable contributions as an acclaimed educationist, researcher, author, and of course, a versatile multilingual individual and a mentor. A warm, warm welcome. Can we have Professor Kuldeep K. Raina, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Ramaya University of Applied Sciences. Well, responsible for the administrative and academic positions, Director, Acting, Deputy Director, Planning and Generation, Dean Research, Sponsored Projects. There is so much that is done. Well, let's also next up request Dr. Korukonda Babji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor from Dr. YSR University of Health Science. Please welcome Dr. Babji with a good round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's not every day we get to see the who's who of the fraternity here. He's held the position of President of AP State Surgeons Association into 2016 and so much more. And lastly, may I please request the Controller of Examination from Bharati Dasan University, Trichy, Dr. Srinivasa Raghavan, to also take up this grand and meaningful stage. Thank you very much. Well, his teaching experience is over 30 years at PG level and recognized as a research guide since 2003. And well, on that note, I think, Suchetna, it's time that I hand over the talking baton to you. Thank you, and a warm welcome to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we must get you energized. A round of applause, please, once again to welcome the panel. Over to you, Suchetna.
Thank you very much. Welcome to all my panelists, and as you would know, we are about 29 minutes away from lunch. This is going to be the toughest session for me to moderate because it is us between the audience here and lunch. So let's try and keep it short, sweet, and as engaging as possible. With the topic at hand, I was just doing some light reading, and my first question to all of you, and let's take it one by one, is that, you know, the entire collaboration between technology and education is very widely discussed. But when it comes to the Indian context, what is the kind of cost that a university like yours has to incur when you want those, the latest technology interventions to be integrated with your college? Do you think the cost at times becomes prohibitive? I'll start with you.
Just Dr. let me tell you that, so when we talk about educations, like what do you expect from the students after graduations? Knowledge, skills, competencies, attitudes, and behaviors. Like whenever we talk about online educations, there are almost 1,113 universities in the country. And as far as college statistics is concerned, there are 43,796 colleges. Right. This is statistics of last year. My point here is, whenever, when we talk about educations, what are the attributes we expect from the graduates? We talk about knowledge, problem analysis, investigation of complex problems, modern tool usage, environment, society, professional ethics, lifelong learning, project management, and finance. With these online educations, UGC has made it up to 40% can be online. How it caters to the need of all the rural and urban colleges in the country is most important. My previous organization, why I am telling this is, my previous organization, I was there as an advisor of National Assessment and Accreditation Council. I've seen throughout the country how education, they are taking it up. The quality assessment and accreditation, how the data is submitted by the institutions. Collaborative learning is a very good work as far as online is concerned. We have organized program in COVID days. More than 1 lakh stakeholders, we have organized programs. Honorable Minister, Mr. Pokriwal was there, and we have organized several programs. My point here is, it's a very good tool, making the children participate in the discussions. Lot of tools are available nowadays. Online tools are available. But how it will inculcate the attributes, whatever I told, within the student is most important. Online or it can be a supporting tools like, the previous Mr. Raju from, he was explaining about COEMPT, he was explaining. We have taken COEMPT last 10 years. We are using that service. They were doing excellent work as far as examination system is concerned.
I'm asking you specifically about the cost impact of all these collaborations.
Cost is not a problem as far as institutions are concerned, but impact is an issue.
Right.
Impact is an issue.
I'll go with the same question to Professor Raina. What Dr. Rath is talking about is the impact perhaps completely justifies the investments that are made. But when it comes to collaboration with the latest technological tools, there's an entire infrastructure that has to be built within a university. So I'm asking you specifically about the cost of it. Does it become prohibitive at times, and how do you take decisions on it then?
Thank you, Ms. Ray, and thanks to Outlook Business for asking Ramaya to be a part of this panel discussion. Wonderful panelists indeed. You see, cost is one parameter, and it is not going to be stagnant. I think cost is going to change from time to time. It depends upon the version, advent of technology. You have to also look at what are going to be the outcomes that we are going to get as a nation, as an education fraternity, from integrating technology into education. When technology was not there, we got the best of the education.
Right.
Now, are we going to get extraordinary education when we make an embedded system of technology into education? Answer is yes. Answer is certainly delayed. Why? Because in such a wonderful country where we have such a varied education scenario, you cannot apply the same principle, same law to every system. From secondary education, primary education, to tertiary education, to the higher education. So we who work in the education system and have got educated not using the technology, we started from the slate. From slate, we are using the most powerful electronic devices in the gadgets today. I think cost certainly is there. Institutions must be ready to bear the cost, but my education university needs a different kind of a system, which probably this university, that university, other universities is different. So we need to normalize it. For that, I would say edutech companies must get in touch with the education leaders, discuss, deliberate, and have such sessions, and have a normalized parameter. Yes, what it is. We in the institutions are ready to get advanced education, have the best processes, but for that, is it coming at the primary school level? Is it coming at the secondary school level or at the tertiary level? If it is not there, there are going to be certain gradients, Ms. Ray. So let us look at it holistically. Thank you.
I'll come to Dr. Pvt with the same question. When it comes to harnessing collaboration, technological collaboration for health sciences, as Professor Raina just mentioned, do you see the entire cycle of education being taken care of? Or when they come to the university level, you think that technology inclusion is becoming a sort of also a handicap for some of the students who've not used those methods for learning in the initial years?
First of all, I'm conveying my thanks to the EdTech summit, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a wonderful topic. Innovations and collaborative solutions in the medical university. I am a neurosurgeon, and we do take care of the patients. Of course, our university is a typical medical university.
Right.
We do take care of medical students, paramedical, nursing, dental, and all. So technology is very, very useful, and we are using them. Of course, cost is not a factor at all while we take care of the patients. So it's very, very important. We do utilize the technology, especially in the COVID, for the medical education. We used to have seminars, we used to have workshops where the surgeries are not being done by the students. We used to transmit those videos to all the students. We have 35 medical colleges. We used to take care of all the medical education in all those medical colleges. And as a neurosurgeon, the technology is very useful now, see, especially this deep brain stimulation.
Absolutely.
Without technology, there is no treatment at all.
Right.
See, without CT scan, without MRI, without PET scan, the knowledge of medicine, knowledge of our skills is of no value at all. So definitely technology is very needed, and we are utilizing them in all sorts of medical education as well as in the treatment parts.
Dr. Babji, I was specifically asking you about what Professor Raina mentioned, that do you see that while you are adapting and adopting technology, do you see that perhaps the students who come to you should have been better exposed to it, maybe at a level just below the university? There needs to be a higher adoption of technology so that they're well prepared to take the best benefits of the technology that you provide at YSR University.
So when there was no technology, also we were treating the patients. We were also teaching as well as treating the patients. As we evolved with the technology available, we are improving. The medical education as well as the patient care has been improved dramatically, and the patients as well as the students and the teachers are also benefited. See, in the pathology department, when we were students, we used to use a microscope, see like this, and write. See, now our pathology professor can show all over the world whatever she is seeing. And a micro level can be taught at a time, and the decisions can be taken, taking the advantage of all the brains all over the world. So definitely the technology is useful, and we have to go along with the advancements. Then only the patient care will be improved, the humanity and the level of living of the humanity also improves, and it is.
Thank you. Dr. Raghavan, I'll come to you with the same question. Technology, we know the collaborations and the kind of dividends that you can reap out of it, but what about the cost factor for a university? Yeah.
Yeah, cost part it has drastically come down
Okay.
in terms of the technology, maybe of hardware or it may be of software. Because a lot of developments, particularly after this millennium, it took place. Technology, it prevails even earlier stage also, not only after this COVID situation. The necessity that made us, all of us, to embrace in a very massive manner. For example, in our university, 2005, they recruited very good, excellent faculty members and scientists from across the globe through video conferencing. And we were also conducting the programs using the webinar tools.
Yeah.
And wherever it is being used, even IITs, even late 90s, they were having online assignment and online assessment, that practice and all. For example, resource access, exactly Honorable Vice Chancellor from Medical University pointed out, that is many-fold, that impact got enhanced because of the technological case. And the disruptive technology, of course, we can say radio, we can say the TV, we can say the book, that printing press, and mobile, and now this internet. And all the developments that took place after the internet become an interactive and it's a platform, it become culture. Lot of add-ons that really enhanced the high impact of the technology use.
Right.
And now the open science concept, the genome sequencing, that is possible because of the technology.
Yes.
They frequently shared So because of that, even India, such a large, great nation, it could develop a co-vaccine, and we really enabled many countries. Very complex, comprehensive system, but we could sustain when compared to other countries' losses. And because of the technology only, the cost it has drastically come down.
Right.
And of course, as you said, as a control of examination, COVID situation, we asked all the students to upload their answer scripts and immediately after the examination. But many rural areas, the students, they were having only the old version of mobile phones.
Right.
When they had been to the computer center, they were charging 10 rupees per,
Right.
per page. 35 pages, 40 pages. When they are scanning, it is not affordable. Immediately next day, then we have changed that method, and we assigned the individual faculty members belong to that particular college which is located in rural remote area, and we also paid them, and that people they go and collect for 20 answer scripts, one faculty member like that. So wherever you need, you have to have a combination, that blend of the technology also, not the technology for the technology per se.
Absolutely.
And another one important aspect,
Yes.
of course, the technology can get availed in a very affordable cost. At the same time, the same technology is at very high cost also. That bridge also has to be brought down, and particularly the state government and the central government and the higher apex organization, they need to enable the colleges and the universities, the government colleges and the state universities. They are suffering with a lot of financial issues, and to have a equation, that equity, it has to be subsidized wherever the people
Right,
cannot
I'll
afford.
come to what you're saying. I'll come to Dr. Rath with that question. A lot has been said about the democratization that technology has brought about. Online classes, their virtual libraries. How large is this actually? How real is this democratization?
No, it's a good idea of, you will find that COVID taught us many things. Most of the students, many students of course, they are using the technology. They are using online databases. Government of India is making it so that all those databases, centralized places,
Right.
all government institutions can access it. That's possible, it will come next year.
Yeah.
All Scopers, all those papers. But the idea is, with this GPT and Google Gemini and all that, sometimes when research scholars are writing papers, they copy from somewhere and change the kind of setup by using ChatGPT. That's really a threat for the country.
Okay.
Like copy paste, whatever we discussed in the
Plagiarism,
morning.
yes.
Plagiarism. Of course, Turnitin and others, plagiarism software, they cannot detect that, right? But this technology is definitely, this online classes and online education, it definitely helped the country for the students. Today, if you purchase a new phone, if you give it to a child, how to put this, they'll go to YouTube and find out what is the mechanism.
Right.
That's a kind of learning.
Yeah.
That's very, very important.
Okay. Professor Raina, same question to you. We talk about democratization. Has it actually helped or has it created a tech divide?
Absolutely, absolutely. In no other terms, because in any vibrant education system with such a large, wide student base, and when we foresee the youth coming up, I think the transparency that is bringing that transparency through the technology is going to be the hallmark for us. In our first or the second panel discussion, I think Professor Pasha said, it used to take 3 months. Who has patience for 3 months to wait for the result? None. I think today, if the exam is conducted in the morning, student wants to know the result in the afternoon. If it is going to be possible, I think technology is going to be the best tool to make it possible, and we must do it.
Okay. Same question to you, Dr. Babji. Do you see because of online classes, because of certain tools, in India there's also a problem of the quality of internet that you use. So is it widening the tech gap between sections of students, or do you think that actually technology has brought students closer, led to real innovation for educators as well as for learners?
See, that you are talking about the democratization of the education. of course, lot of government universities.
Yeah.
So there is no problem at all. So it is not the rich or the poor. This for everybody, the same teaching, same patient treatment. So majority of the hospitals we do treat freely, and the teaching also is almost free. So there is no problem of this education discrimination. There is no discrimination at all. Government of India as well as government of AP or all any other state government are also helping majority of the majority of the patients, rather public, and they do take care by means of this insurances also.
Right.
So the government of India is aiming to cover everybody in the nation, to cover by some means of insurance. So there should not be any discrimination just because of their economic status. And we need to, and as administrators, we need to take care of everybody, and there should not be any discrimination in education as well as in the patient care.
Right. Dr. Raghavan, would you like to add to it? Same question, about the power of democratizing education when it comes to technology.
Nice, ma'am. Democratization, that is, it has to get ensured in terms of the education, because one of the basic necessity and the government responsibility to serve to its citizens.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the preference and the cost, whatever the minimum possible, the quality of education for a very comprehensive nation, the high population can get offer. There is up to some level only they can make it. That is what the government also encourage this private public partnership, and because of that, many private institutions they are also emerging up. Of course, fee structure, it's significant difference you can find.
Yeah.
But the quality also you can find a significant difference. Particularly the government institutions, more than 35 years I'm in higher education field. My observation is there are very good established teachers working in government universities and government colleges and government schools. We all got educated. They really impart the core knowledge. Of course, technology and the soft skills and other kind of the managing, communication, leadership, these are all the second thing. I am a driver, I should drive. I should very efficient driver and with the sense of the driving. Of course, I may not be clean or I may not good in communication. If I may not come in time also. If some person is coming timely and he is having all those etiquettes, but he is not so good in drive, so confident, then you can't accept it. So here the teachers, they teach the core, they impart actually. So the democratization is there. The only problem is that, only one example I just simply, my son actually, I put him in one of the top ranked university, the top 10 university for his graduation, engineering graduation. Of course, I also got like other parents who placement and all the other things may be good instead of preferring a government college. But vice versa, some teachers, he felt he is not satisfied. He used the YouTube lectures given by from Swayam IIT professors and other teachers. Their lectures are there. He used for some subjects, some classes. Some teachers are so good. So that difference is there, exists even in highly paid universities. We are paying nearly around 2 lakh rupees annually. So where in our university BTech program which we are offering, we are charging only 30,000 rupees, the tuition fees. So, but there are good teachers are there, both institutions. And that gap only by looking to various other factors, it can leverage, that bridge can get leveraged. But democratization is already there in education. It is an option. I am choosing a government college or I am choosing a very top level. Being a control of examinations, at least 30 to 50 genuine verification for abroad education, higher education pursuants or placement I am giving. Of which the government institutions students also, they are going abroad for their higher education with fellowship and stipend kind of thing.
So Dr. Raghavan is making a very important point. It's not about technology all the time. It is about the quality of the faculty, which actually lifts the education that is being imparted more than technology. Anybody would like to comment on that?
Absolutely. I think, see, it's a complete ecosystem of education.
Right.
It cannot be only teacher, it cannot be only student, it cannot be only technology. I think there has to be a marriage of all the three together. A student must be adapted to learning. A teacher must have more knowledge in technology as well as the fundamentals to impart. And the system should provide all such infrastructures. In an ecosystem like that, I personally feel that we cannot live without technology. And when we look at the futuristic roadmap for next 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, we may talk of this education policy or that education policy. But it is education.
Right.
Policy change from time to time. But I think, are we giving a learner the best possible education in the institutions? For that, I think technology is going to be a wonderful lever for his career progression, for his employability, and developing the wonderful ecosystem, holistic for the nation and the nations. It's not only Indian education system. I think if you look at the number of students who go overseas, what makes them to follow that is because of the ideal education system that are being evolved, and we are a part of that.
Dr. Babji, I'd like you to respond to what Professor Raina just said, which is how do you manage this marriage of the three, which is the faculty and the quality of the faculty at one side, the course on the other, and technology being the third wheel? How do you manage to ensure that there is the right
Quality of
faculty
education.
along with the curriculum that is there and technology? How do you manage to, how do you think that a balance of the three, an optimal balance of the three can be managed so that the best education can be given to the students, especially in your university which deals with health sciences?
The quality of education, if you talk, definitely if you take the central institute, especially in the medical education, if you take All India Institute of Medical Sciences, so undoubtedly there will be the best doctors will be produced from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. In the medical institutes in Andhra Pradesh, if you have more number of patients, more education will be there. So definitely the government colleges will have maximum amount of patients, thereby of course the teachers will be there everywhere. So it is the material what is necessary. For a medical student to become a good doctor, there should be a good material, that is the patient. So the maximum amount of patients are available in the government medical colleges. Of course, a good private institutes also have, but comparatively there is definitely a difference between the best institute and the other institutes. But if you compare the central institutes, I dreamt to join into an all India medical student, medical college, All India Institute of Medical Sciences to join into in the MBBS as well as in the post-graduation, but we could not. But we feel envy when we see a doctor coming from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi. Definitely the quality differs, but as a whole, in India, we need to have a basic doctor. See, the government of India, National Medical Council says that a doctor which is produced from an MBBS college should be able to reach to the ordinary patient. So I feel we are all producing ordinary doctors, at least to take care of the minimum requirements of any patient. Of course, for the super specialties, definitely needs a better institute fellow. But Hippocrates said that as a doctor, you should not harm any patient. That's the basic fundamental which we teach to all the medical students. See, at any cost, you should never harm the patient. That's the basic thing we should learn, and all the doctors we produce never harm any patient. Rather, they will try to help. And if they need, they will take the help of the senior. Thank you.
I'll come to Dr. Russ. We're running out of time, so the last question to all of you, I'll begin with you, which is, what do you think has been the biggest benefit that your university has harnessed from technology in the past few years post-COVID?
See, technology we have used in examination system.
Yeah.
We were completely successful.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I was mentioning COEMPT has supported us, even online examinations. Throughout India, BPUT, Biju Patnaik University of Technology was the first universities to host online educations as well as online examination system. And the entire process, end-to-end solution is completely online. Even PhD thesis, you need to know that whether it is with the external examiners or whether it is with the universities, all those things with the login credentials, the
So you can
person
track
guide
the
can
entire
see
life
that.
cycle of your
Entire
thesis.
thing. That's what, I mean,
Right.
this definitely it has helped us. And the technology, like I was mentioning about these MOOCs,
Right.
your NPTEL SOEM, if you want that faculty to be strengthened in technology, I mean, there should be compulsory for the faculty members to go for online courses. They should get some certificates. Then only they should teach to the students. It's a blender of traditional learning, teaching, as well as online education. That
Right.
will help.
Professor Raina, what has been in your experience the biggest benefit that your university has harnessed?
The university I come from has 13 faculties, 80 departments, and 130 programs. Had there not been a technology, probably this student would not have known what this student is doing. I think it has tried to facilitate the interdepartmental,
Collaborations.
subjects, correlations, offering in the online mode, offline mode, as well as getting best at the world level. When Professor Dutt was saying about the SOEM and the MOOC systems,
Yeah.
I think if there is not a very powerful technology drive in the system, you may not make use of it.
Right.
So I think as a forthcoming institution, which looks at the varied programs and the fully flexible education system, technology is going to be one of the most important lever,
Right.
and we are making best use of it. If we looked as academic excellence as our target, I think excellence cannot be achieved only through inferior processes. I think we need to have a robust system to go to that pinnacle of excellence.
Of course.
I think it is helping us, and along with us, many higher education institutions are getting benefited by this.
Right.
Thank you.
Dr. Babji, we've already heard from you the various benefits that technology has provided when you teach medical sciences. My question to you is that, how have you used data analytics to understand maybe the needs of your learners, exactly where they need some help, or maybe if they need to be trained on certain aspects with their learning? Because as you mentioned, if you're a doctor, you can keep excellence for another day. You have to be a good one at least. So how have you used data analytics in your pursuit of creating good, stable, standard doctors?
Adding to all our professors' inputs, so in the university, without technology, now we cannot survive.
Absolutely.
So it's a very difficult process for admissions.
Yeah.
We have UG, PG admissions. So without that software, without the technology, we cannot admit. Admissions cannot be done.
Has
And
it made student assessment easier? Assessment of students easier, technology?
assessments, of course, now we are using COEMPT, and then we are having the routine written examinations. But the evaluation is done by our technology, that COEMPT is helping us. We now have a centralized processing. We bring all the question papers to our university, but now, just now, few days back only, we have decided, just like Rajiv Gandhi University, we also are planning for a peripheral scanning. Even we were thinking about that digital e-tab. Somebody was talking in the morning. So that is the best way of, see, the peripheral scanning or central scanning, after writing, it will be processed. Whereas the digital e-pad or digital tab, so while you are writing itself, the central
Yes.
thing will be able to reach. So that may be the best way for all evaluations of the examinations. In addition to the examinations and teachings also we are utilizing the technology. As I was telling you, in the pathology or microbiology departments, one slide can be distributed and we can take the opinion from different people. While I am operating one in our hospital, that can be transmitted to all the colleges. So we have I must thank our Chief Minister, Dr. Jagmohan Reddy, who has started 5 new medical colleges. We have the best lecture halls. So I was addressing all the students in all the medical colleges, new medical colleges. I am able to address from one college to all the colleges
Absolutely.
simultaneously with digitalized Wi-Fi enabled digital classrooms.
Yes.
So while I was talking, I can talk to one class and all over the state I am able to talk to them. Without the technology, that cannot be done. And the PhD courses as well as this thesis evaluation, using all the technology, plagiarism. So we use plagiarism before submitting the, finalizing the thesis. If they have more than 30% plagiarism, we are not allowing the thesis to be accepted. So without that software, how many theses I can read?
Absolutely.
And so definitely without technology, we cannot survive in this digitalized world. And I wish all of us should learn the technology, and especially the teachers, especially the elders, we must learn before the students the technology, and we should, then only we should be able to talk to the
Professor Rainer, you had something to add?
I think the next issues of business,
Outlook
business is going to be in E-mode. I personally want to see a day when all our education systems will be translated into digital mode, examination, evaluation. We talk of sustainability of the environment. Have you ever assessed how many trees we cut every year to produce the tons and tons of the paper? That goes for answer books and all those things. Can we make this planet to be safe and green if we start forgetting to cut the trees? I think that is very, very important for each one of us. And the education system can take a lead in it, having such digital tools where no need of paper, we can have paperless examinations. I think it is going to be the human service, which you may put as a headline in your Outlook business. Can it happen? I would say yes. Thank you.
Sure. Dr. Raghav, please go ahead. You're done?
That's the use of technology.
Of course. Dr. Raghavan, we've completely run out of time. Quickly, if you can tell us what has been the biggest benefit that you have harnessed from technology. If you can just perhaps spare some time about library sciences.
Biggest benefit, the information access, sharing of the research or the academic excellence which is happened across the globe immediately. Any scientific results they can access immediately, and particularly the consortia, the e-journals and e-books and the scholarly resources, maybe research protocols or the standards, and now also the open science movement is also another big impact which is coming up. The open data initiative by Government of India, and anyone they can put authenticated source of their invention or discovery, the data immediately into the public domain, so anybody can access. And we do have the course materials portal also, which is developed by our own faculty members for different subjects, and we are given access to all 150 plus affiliated colleges. And as the Vice Chancellor rightly pointed out, the examination and admission and even administration, the transparency, accountability and timeliness, these are all the great advantages. Recent past we got it, and it's gaining momentum each and every year. The only thing is that proper implementation and the judicious adoption and adoption of the technology.
Absolutely.
Technology alone cannot address.
Yes.
And always the human resource portal is very much necessary.
Right.
And though I subscribe the e-journals, I also subscribe the print journals also. And across the globe, you can see every year book selling is also increasing.
Right.
10 to 20% across the globe. Of course, we are not using the teachers in India. The books reading, our books procurement, our book purchase habit is comparatively very, very low when even compared to some of the Asian nations.
Right.
So it is of a hybrid kind of blended manner only. It will sustain, but the adoption of technology, and that is not only an alternative, and that is also in the main subject. So a teacher or a professional or a businessman or a media person, you should akin with of both the conventional practices as well as imbibing the same into the technology delivery.
Absolutely. We've completely run out of time. And we appreciate what you're saying. Maybe that's a discussion for another day, the ethical and the social risks of technology. Thank you so much. You wanted to add something, please go ahead.
I just want to add, we have a library consortium where we have a loft, my loft, that my library on fingertips. So
Okay.
we are utilizing and all the students are so happy. So the library is in their fingertips. That also is one of the wonderful thing which is being utilized by our students. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We've completely run out of time. It is a pleasure speaking to all of you. Thank you for your time once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, panel, for an illustrative one for the felicitation ceremony. We'll request you to please hold on to the stage. I'm going to request Shanthan to once again take the fort and be with us on the stage to extend our gesture of saying thank you, our token of appreciation. Thank you, Dr. Rath. Thank you, Professor Raina. Thank you, Dr. Babji and Dr. Raghavan on that note. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on for just a more while because very shortly we're going to be entering into one of the highlight ceremonies of today's summit. But for now, let's just thank panel with a round of applause for exploring the future of tech-driven academic collaboration and the partnerships, bringing so much of intent, thought, and how do we really lead by examples as we walk the talk. Thank you very, very much. So Chetna, thank you very much for excavating all those insights for us. And with that, we do the customary and the happy group picture as well with all of you, our panel, our presenters and our moderator.